There are moments in life when you feel invisible, as if the world walks past you without noticing, as if your efforts, your kindness, your heart go unseen. You've spoken in rooms where your voice was drowned out. You've loved people who didn't return it. You've shown up, you've given your best, and still it felt like you were standing in the shadows while others were celebrated. But today, let this truth sink deep into your soul. Just because the world ignored you doesn't mean you are forgotten. In fact, the very places where you felt overlooked were the spaces where I, your creator, was drawing closest to you. The earth may not have applauded you, but heaven saw everything. While others measured your worth by achievements and titles, I saw your quiet faithfulness. I saw you hold on when no one knew you were breaking. I saw you choose kindness when you could have chosen bitterness. I saw the tears you cried when doors slammed shut and when your prayers seemed to echo into silence. You thought you were being rejected, but you were being refined. What looked like abandonment was actually divine protection. What felt like delay was preparation for something greater. Being chosen by heaven doesn't always look like being popular on earth. In fact, it often means being set apart. You weren't created to blend in. You were created to carry something different, something sacred. The rejection you felt wasn't a mark of failure. It was confirmation that you don't belong to the world's system of validation. You belong to something higher. I have seen you. I have called you. I have chosen you, not because the world approved, but because I designed you for a purpose only you can fulfill. You were hidden for a reason, and now it's time to step into the light I've prepared for you. Today is not just another moment. It's a shift, a spiritual awakening, a reminder that your life is marked with purpose and your worth has never depended on people's recognition. I chose you long before you were ever ignored, and now I'm calling you into everything I've prepared. You are not overlooked. You are chosen. You are seen. You are ready. I saw you long before the world decided whether or not you were worth their time. I knew your name before they ever chose to forget it. While people walked past you, treating your presence like it didn't matter, I was standing beside you, taking note of every moment your heart remained soft in a world that tried to harden it. You were never invisible to me. You were never just a face in the crowd. You are my design, created with intention, wrapped in eternal value that no opinion can strip away. The world may have ignored your presence, but I was always present with you. When your efforts went unnoticed and your heart was unappreciated, I was whispering, I see you. I delight in you. This world often rewards loudness, performance, and popularity. But I honor truth, humility, and endurance. You weren't overlooked because you lacked something. You were overlooked because you carry something deeper, something not everyone is equipped to recognize. Earth missed what heaven celebrated. They couldn't see the treasure buried in your quiet strength, but I did. And I never needed the world to approve of you for me to move through you. In fact, their rejection became your preservation. Their silence became the space where I could speak directly to you without distraction. I wasn't just watching from a distance. I was with you in every quiet room, every silent tear, every moment when you asked, "Why am I not enough for them?" And I answered, "You've always been more than enough for me." So do not wear their disregard as your identity. Wear my choosing. Let go of the names they never called you and remember the name I gave you, mine. You belong to heaven, not to their approval. What they called insignificant, I called chosen. What they called ordinary, I have set apart for something extraordinary. The rejection you faced wasn't a failure, it was a signal, a redirection. I allowed certain places to close their doors to you because they could not carry the weight of your purpose. You thought they were turning you away, but I was turning you toward something better. The moments you felt abandoned were not because you were forgotten, but because I was positioning you for greater things. I removed you from places where you would have been limited, not because you were unworthy, but because you were meant to grow beyond them. When you cried out, asking why they didn't choose you, I was whispering, because I already did. Their dismissal did not cancel your calling, it only confirmed how sacred your journey truly is. I never needed the world's permission to elevate you. What they rejected I have refined. Their silence was the soil where I planted strength inside you. Every time you faced rejection, I was carving a path that led straight to me. There no created room for my yes. While you were questioning your place in the world, I was preparing a place where you would not only belong, you would flourish. You are not a victim of rejection. You are a vessel of divine direction, and I have never wasted a tear, a trial, or a moment of your pain. Everything you endured in silence has built the foundation for your future. You were not set aside, you were set apart. Now it's time to rise in the direction I've prepared for you. Your value was never tied to who applauded you, supported you, or even stood by you. The world may have overlooked your worth, but I never measured you by their standards. I saw beyond what they could see. They looked at your status. I looked at your heart. They noticed what was loud and visible. I treasured what was quiet and faithful. When others failed to recognize your beauty, your potential, and your spirit, I declared you chosen. I have marked your life with favor that no one can erase. What they ignored, I've anointed. What they dismissed, I've destined. You were never meant to be validated by broken voices. You were meant to rise in the power of my truth over your life. The pain you carried from being unseen was real, but it was never proof that you were unworthy. It was proof that you are different, set apart, made for more. I have hidden you in plain sight so that when the time comes, no one but me will be able to take credit for your rise. You are not behind. You are being prepared. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned. The approval you thought you needed from them was only a distraction from the deeper affirmation I have already spoken into your soul. I have called you valuable, chosen, worthy, strong, and beloved. These are not temporary compliments. They are eternal truths. You were never invisible to me. You are irreplaceable. And I will reveal your worth in my time, in my way, and for my purpose. There is a reason you were hidden when you wanted to be seen. A reason I allowed seasons of silence, isolation, and stillness. You believed nothing was happening, but I was doing my deepest work in those quiet moments. While others advanced publicly, I was advancing you privately. I was strengthening your spirit, healing your wounds, sharpening your discernment, and teaching you to hear my voice over the noise of the world. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. There are heights I'm taking you to that require roots no one else can see. I needed you to walk through the shadows so you'd learn to trust me even when the light seemed far away. You weren't forgotten. You were being formed. I knew what was ahead, so I allowed time to shape your endurance. I didn't rush your process, because what I've planned for your life demands a kind of maturity that can only be developed in waiting. You felt like you were being passed over, but in reality, I was protecting you from premature exposure. If I had released you before the time was right, it would have crushed what I was trying to build in you. Now, the season is shifting. What was hidden is about to be revealed. What was prepared in the dark is about to shine in the light. And when others ask how it happened, you will know the answer. It was me, working in every quiet, hidden place of your life, preparing you for this very moment. You are stepping into a moment that was designed long before the world tried to define your worth. Every time you were dismissed, every time you were passed over, every time you questioned if you had a place, none of it was wasted. I saw it all, and I kept you covered while I wrote a story greater than the pain you endured. You were not created to be just another voice in the crowd. You were created to carry a divine message that echoes from heaven. The delays were not denials, and the silence was not abandonment. I was working in the background, aligning circumstances, shifting people, and preparing your path, so that when you stepped forward, it would be with clarity, purpose, and power. Now is the time to lift your head, to shake off the weight of past disappointments, and to see yourself as I've always seen you. Chosen, appointed, and deeply loved. You were ignored by earth, but heaven has never stopped watching you. You were passed by, but never passed over by me. I have a calling on your life that no rejection can cancel, and no mistake can erase. I am giving you back everything the world made you think you lost. Your confidence, your voice, your purpose. You are not rising by accident, you are rising by design. You are walking into favor, into calling, into beauty that could only come from walking closely with me through every shadow. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of the unveiling. You have carried the weight of being overlooked, misunderstood, and forgotten by the world, but what you didn't realize was that in those moments you were being seen, known, and chosen by heaven. While others moved on without noticing your light, I was walking beside you, whispering identity into your spirit and purpose into your soul. Nothing about your journey has been a mistake. Every delay, every rejection, every silent room was part of the refining process that led you to this very moment. You were never defined by the opinions of others. You were defined by the truth I have spoken over you since the beginning. You are not what the world says about you. You are what I have called you to be, and I call you worthy. I call you loved. I call you chosen. Every tear, every unanswered question, every season of hiding was building something sacred inside of you. And now the season is shifting. The pain you've endured is giving way to the purpose I've prepared. This is not where you end. This is where I begin to reveal the beauty that has been growing inside of you all along. Thank you for giving your time, your heart, and your attention to this message. Thank you for listening with your spirit open and your faith engaged. You didn't find this message by accident. This was a divine appointment. Now walk forward, knowing you are not forgotten, not abandoned, and never ignored by heaven. You are chosen, completely, eternally, and beautifully.